Hello everyone, I'm Alex of Vending Machine Support, and in this video I'm going to show you how to replace a dollar bill acceptor inside your snack or drink vending machine. Now if you haven't already, I appreciate if you could like and subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell. You'll be notified next time I upload a video. So let's get started. As you're operating your vending machine, there may come a time you're going to need to remove your dollar bill acceptor because the dollar bill acceptor has either stopped working, or you want to upgrade the dollar bill acceptor, or you need to remove the dollar bill acceptor in order to fix something else inside your snack or drink vending machine. So it's good knowledge to know how to remove and install a dollar bill acceptor. Now, most dollar bill acceptors mount the same across all the different manufacturers of vending machines, be it drink or snack, food or coffee. They're all usually going to mount exactly the same. And it's going to be the standard stud pattern that's going to be found on the bill acceptors. Usually we're going to have two studs that mount at the top here, and at the bottom towards the center are another two mounting points. Now this dollar bill acceptor here has an additional mounting point for different style of mounts, but the typical mount is going to be two studs at the top and two studs here at the bottom that hold the dollar bill acceptor on. Now there are some units out there where there's going to be two brackets at the top and the bottom. You'll find those maybe on a Crane National 145, 146, as well as an Automatic Product 6000 and 7000 snack machine. There are maybe some other units out there that don't have a standardized pattern, but at one point the industry finally standardized to this type stud pattern. Now let's talk about the tools that you're going to need to be able to remove your dollar bill acceptor from your machine. Most nuts are going to be that are holding on a dollar bill acceptor are going to be an 11/32. So you will need an 11/32 nut driver to be able to remove that. Now I have a video that I've made talking about the top 5 tools that you're going to have whenever you service your vending machines, which I'll link above. But it's going to be an 11/32 nut driver is one of them. Now this is the 11/32 with the long shaft with a hollow shaft on that, and it allows you to reach and allow the stud to come further into the shaft to be able to reach in and get the nut that you need to pull off. Now if you do not have an 11/32 nut driver, you can use a ratchet set. Now this is a deep 11/32 socket with an extension on a small ratchet. 90% of the machines that you're going to come across that have a dollar bill acceptor on it, you're going to be using an 11/32 nut driver or socket to be able to remove that. Now there are some units that are actually being held on by 1/4 inch. Grab another pocket here. This is a 1/4 inch nut driver. So a lot of screws in vending machines use a 1/4 inch, and I have come across, again, dollar bill acceptors are being held on by a screw with a 1/4 inch head on it. For example, be again, Automatic Product 6000 or 7000, as well as a Crane National 145 or 146 snack machine. So that's what you're going to take a look at. Now it's always good to have that on hand. Now the other ones you may come across, if some of the older models were held on by Phillips and flathead. So bringing a Phillips head screwdriver and a flathead screwdriver with you doesn't hurt to make sure you got all your bases covered. So just a quick review. 90% of the units that you're going to be coming across on a snack or drink vending machine that holds a dollar bill acceptor on is going to be an 11/32 nut, so make sure you have your 11/32 nut driver or your 11/32 ratchet, and then it's just for safety purposes or just to keep yourself covered, 1/4 inch nut driver, Phillips head, and flathead screwdriver. Well, the tools that you're going to need to be able to remove your dollar bill acceptor from your snack or vending machine. So let's first start removing the dollar bill acceptor on the snack vending machine. Now, I'm going to use an Automatic Products 122 snack machine behind me here in this example. But again, how the dollar filter is removed is going to be the same way if you had a Crane National, if you had an AMS, or a USI. Those dollar bill acceptors all remove generally the same way. So what I'm going to show you here can be applied to those machines as well. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure we have the power turned off on our machine. Now where the power is going to be located on your snack machine may be at the bottom left-hand corner, it may be on the right-hand side, or maybe behind the monetary door like on this AP machine. There's actually a white on and off switch. Let's go ahead and power it off. So here's the dollar bill acceptor mounted on a monetary door. So I'm going to go ahead and get my 11/32 nut driver to be able to start removing this unit. So here we have the back of the dollar bill acceptor on this Automatic Products 122 snack machine on the monetary door. Now if we look closely, we might be able to see, or we can see, the two 11/32 nuts that are holding the dollar bill acceptor on at the bottom. They're located right here and right over here. Move this harness out of the way, here and here. Now midway up on the left-hand side, we can see there's another nut. Actually, there's a hole I can reach in. This is the other nut right here, and there's going to be another nut on the opposite side over here. So we're going to remove these two top nuts, but I leave these attached, but I just loosen the bottom ones, and I'll explain to you why here once we start putting in the other unit. So to make life easier, I like to go ahead and remove the bill box. This actually gives me a little bit, be able to reach this nut over here if I have to grab it with my hands. So having that bill box off kind of gives us a little bit more room to work with. Go ahead and take that 11/32 nut driver. And I'm going to start with the top left-hand side here. I'm going to go ahead and remove that completely. So I'm going to turn this anti-clockwise. And then here I've got the nut removed. So here's the 11/32 nut that usually will hold most of these dollar bill acceptors on. Go ahead and put this on top of the machine for safekeeping. Now I've got another one over here on the right-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and feel for it there. And there we go, got it. I'm going to go ahead and remove this one completely. There we go. And there's that nut. Put that up top. Now, the other two here at the bottom, I'm not going to remove. I'm going to loosen them as far as possible without them removing them off of the actual studs. And what this allows me to do is once I've removed the bill acceptor and I need to put the replacement unit on, I leave the nuts on there. It allows me to slide it in and then tighten it down and kind of hold the dollar bill acceptor in place while I get the other two upper nuts on the upper side, on the left and right here on. It's kind of like an extra pair of hands. So I'll back these off quite a bit. Now again, they're still attached. Now here, all I can do is just take the bill acceptor, pull back, and lift up. And here I've got it removed from the unit. Now I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this bill acceptor with the harness right here. Now where your plug is on your dollar bill acceptor may be different. It may be an actual MDB plug that comes off of here, but usually you make sure you want to unplug the unit and then you want to at that point swap it out. Now what we're dealing with here, this is the hole that the dollar bill acceptor is mounted to. We've got the right side stud here, here's the left one, and the two bottom that still has a nut on there. So when I go to put the replacement dollar bill acceptor on there, I'm going to slide on the bottom first, and then I'm going to kind of lift up and slide the bill acceptor onto these two upper studs. At that point, I'm going to tighten these two bottom ones down. That's going to keep it held in place, and then I can go about installing the other two nuts on the top left and the top right. So I'm going to get my replacement unit. Now always remember, before you put your unit on there, make sure that you plug it back in. So I'm going to go ahead and take this harness here. Now this one happens to be keyed on this Mars. So I'm going to go ahead and install that harness. It's popped into place. I'm going to take the dollar bill acceptor, I'll line it up on the top two studs here, slide that down, and now I've got it held in place, and now I'm just going to mount it. And then here, if I let go, the bill acceptor is going to stay in place. That's why I leave the two nuts on at the bottom, because here's my extra pair of hands. I'm going to come back in here, I'm going to go and tighten these down. And now I can proceed to install the other two nuts. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the upper left-hand one. Got that one set in there. Now at this point, you generally could, this thing is very well secured in here. This is going to be the most difficult nut because it's actually blind to me. I really can't see it, so I'm going to have to do it on feel. But if you lose the nut on one of the upper studs, that's fine because you got the two that are mounting it down here, and you may have one on the left or one on the right. That's perfectly fine. There is literally hundreds and hundreds of vending machines out there that only have 3 screws or 3 nuts holding the bill acceptor on, which is perfectly fine. But we're going to go ahead and try to install that. So I'm going to go ahead and put the nut on here. I'm going to reach in here on the nut. There it is. Go ahead and tighten it down. And now that I've got the nuts installed on the bill acceptor, I'm going to take that bill box and put it back on. And here I'm going to turn the power back on, and we should hear the dollar bill acceptor boot up here in a second. There we go. So that's how you to install a dollar bill acceptor onto a snack vending machine. Now let me show you how to remove a dollar bill acceptor from a drink vending machine. Now I'm going to use a Vendo 621 behind me here in this example, but how I remove this dollar bill acceptor from this machine can be applied to a Dixie Narco, a Royal, or any other sort of model of Vendo drink machine. So the first thing we make sure we have is we're going to have the power turned off on the machine, which I do. As you can see, there are no lights on the machine, and I'm going to go ahead and open the door. So here we're looking at the back of a dollar bill acceptor on a Vendo 621. Now, just like on our snack machine, we've got the two nuts at the bottom here and here, which are 11/32, as well as the top left and right hand side corners. Now I have the power removed on the machine, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the bill box. I'm going to put it on top here. And now what I'm going to work with is I've got the two nuts here that I'm going to go ahead and loosen. I'm going to back these off. I'm going to do a little bit in reverse. Like on the snap machine, I just remove these first and then back these off, but I'm going to back these off first. Again, I'm not going to remove these completely, just backing them off. And then I'm going to remove the top left-hand corner 11/32 nut. I'm going to take this off completely. And then here I'm going to go ahead and remove the right side one. There, see it? Pull that nut off. And then here, if I grab the dollar bill acceptor, so I'm going to grab it, I'm going to pull it back, get them off the top nut studs, and lift up, and then out comes the dollar bill acceptor. Now, on this Conlux bill acceptor, I can remove the harness that's mounted on the right-hand side, but I'm going to do a little bit different, explain that you may have it connected into your MDB line. So here, I've got the units attached to the coin changer down here, and then it's also attached to the machine here. So this is our MDB daisy chain. Again, I have a video that explains about the MDB daisy chain, which I'll link above. But I'm going to go ahead and detach this from the machine. So this is the machine's female connection. This is the dollar bill acceptor's male connection. And then if I could move this over here, I've got the dollar bill acceptor's connection to the coin changer. Separate that. So there's the dollar bill acceptor's female connection and the coin changer's male connection of the MDB daisy chain. So with that, we've now got the unit completely removed. That's why we have a hole here in front of the machine. Leaving the two nuts on, we're going to go ahead and reinstall our replacement dollar bill acceptor. What I always like to do is I always like to get my harnesses plugged in first. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the male side of the coin changer into the female side of the dollar bill acceptor. Let's get that connected. Next, I'm going to find the male side of the dollar bill acceptor. I'm going to connect into the female side of the machine on the MDB plug. Go ahead and get those connected. So now I got all my harnesses connected. I'm going to go ahead and put the dollar bill acceptor back on. Now here I'm going to put the bottom of the bill acceptor onto the bottom two set studs with the nuts still attached. And then here, if I just lift up, everything can be held in place. So here, I'm going to go ahead and tighten down the bottom set of nuts. Then here I can attach the right side nut and the left side nut. So I'm going to start on the left side here. Get that mounted down. And then here I'm going to go ahead and do the right side one. Get my head in the camera there so I can see the stud. And I'm just going to tighten this down. And now we have the dollar bill acceptor remounted into the drink vending machine. Go ahead and take the bill box, place it back on, and now I can go put this machine back into operation. Well, I hope you found that information useful about how to remove a dollar bill acceptor from a snack or drink vending machine. It's very simplistic and very basic information, but it's good foundation knowledge as you learn to operate and maintain your vending machine. Now, if you haven't already, I appreciate if you could like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell below. You'll be notified next time I upload a video. Until then, I'll see you on the next video. Take care.